What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. It is September 16th. We're about 5 hours into the new day. The price is sitting at about $314.57. We hit a low recently today of $310.78. I was calling for a move down to $320 to $318 yesterday. We have moved a little bit lower. This is lower than I was anticipating. It's definitely a different look than I was anticipating. I thought we would continue to move up into the FOMC meeting on in the next like day and a half, 2 days, on the 17th and 18th there. But we're selling off. And I think that's a little telling of what we can expect with the FOMC meeting. I'll get into that in a little bit, but right now I want to get into the price action stuff. Right, looking at the relative low to high, I would expect here that we don't hold the 0.5, but we move down to the 61869 area, down at about $303 to $307. We could hold this area. It's possible. I would love that. I think that's fine. It's not common, but it can happen. We could go down to the 61869, sell off into the FOMC meeting, kind of like what I'm expecting that we're going to do, and then hold support once it might be like a reverse. It might be like a sell the hype, buy the news event instead of a buy the hype, sell the news like we were thinking. I'll go over into my logic in that in a second, I promise. But the 886, 786 zone is also an area we could go to around like 292, 298, somewhere in that range. We really could hit that as well. I wouldn't like to see us get below 292. If we did that, I would begin to be worried that we're at risk of going below $200. So don't go below 292. We don't want to do that. Hold 302, 307. That would be fine with me. If we look at the daily RSI, we have rejected the 60 area here twice now, right? The last time that we rejected this area, come on. Why aren't you doing it? There we go. Rejected it here, rejected it there, right? Like literally double top. Last time we rejected it, it sent us down. Hopefully we don't get the same results. This was higher and lower, so if we had like a similar move based off of the RSI here, I mean, like that could be pretty bad. But I don't know if we will. I don't think we'll go lower in the RSI. It looks to me like we have some nice higher lows forming, right? A little trend here, like four sets of higher lows. So perhaps we come down to this area, 35 area, bounce there, form a higher low, bounce around $302, $307. That's kind of the expectation right now for me. If we look at the 4 hour, oversold, just got oversold, probably goes lower. Yeah, I would think so. So the reason why or maybe not the reason, I don't know. I wanted to talk about the FOMC meeting and why I believe we're dropping, or what this means in relation to that. Generally speaking, with highly anticipated moves, you get the buy the hype, and then until the news happens, right, on the 18th, which is when it's supposed to happen, you get the buy the hype, sell the news event. That's like a classic kind of thing that happens. Sometimes we do sell the news early, or more often, the better way to think about this is not that you're selling the news early, but that insiders are trading the news early, right? It might be negatively received. What this is telling us is that when the FOMC meeting is like addressed, whenever they announce to the public whatever it is they're going to announce, I think it might be negatively received. This is a time when I believe we're supposed to be pumping. We're supposed to be buying the hype, and then later we sell the news. The fact that it's happening earlier, on the 11th was the top. The meeting is on the 17th, 18th, whatever. It's literally a week later that's when the selling started to happen. It tells me that there is insider knowledge probably going on, right? There's people on the inside who know, and they are front running this. They're selling it off, right, in anticipation of the negatively received FOMC meeting. Perhaps we get rate cuts, which is the expectation, right? I don't think that would be the negative part. Perhaps we get rate cuts and something else happens, right? But the fact that it's negatively, when I say something else happens, I mean something not related to rate cuts that's negatively received. But the fact that we're looking like this could imply that we don't get rate cuts in September. Maybe the rates remain the same. It remains stationary. Perhaps we get rate hikes. That would be crazy, right? That would definitely throw people for a loop. But generally with these, I don't know what's going to happen. I would expect personally that they do interest rate cuts. I don't think that it's going to be anything else but that. So this then, to me, my intuition would say that there's something else that will be said during the meeting. Mark my words, you guys, during the meeting that will negatively impact the markets, or seem to negatively impact the markets. But I think it's already happening. I think right now this is it. when the negative news comes out, you might see a push lower, you might see a red day in itself, but it'll be a higher low. It'll hold there. And instead of a buy the hype, sell the news event, we might have a sell the news, front running, sell the news, and then or I guess sell the hype, and then buy the news event. It might be like literally an inverse. Is kind of my thoughts. So obviously, I don't think that the FOMC meeting has like a huge impact on Bitcoin Cash itself. I think it has a bigger impact on Bitcoin and on stock markets, and I think those have an impact more so on smaller market cap things like Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash, like all I'm trying to say by that is that the world doesn't revolve around Bitcoin Cash. They're not directly tied to each other, but generally Bitcoin Cash follows what Bitcoin does, and if there's public economic information going on in the world FOMC meeting and it's negatively received and it implies that it's going to negatively impact the markets, Bitcoin would likely go down because it's the Mac Daddy market leader of the crypto markets, and Bitcoin Cash would likely follow it, as would almost every single crypto, right? So ergo, FOMC meeting being received negatively is bad for Bitcoin Cash is all I'm trying to say. In case anybody's thinking, why does this matter for Bitcoin Cash? That's why. I got nothing else to say, guys. I got nothing else to say. I think we're going to move down. I hope we don't move down too low. We could move down as low as 292, so just don't be scared if we do. But if we move lower, if we close below 292, you guys definitely do be scared. It's not going to be good. I might consider, I don't know, let me see before I say anything dumb. I would genuinely, like at that point, I might consider getting out of my position. Like it's that close. It literally is that close. Let's see, high to low. Yeah, because that wouldn't look good. A rejection off the 382. I would then look to buy below $200 if that were to happen. If we got below this low, I would literally have to exit my position, man. It's been fun, but I'd have to exit and then get in at a lower price. And maybe not all of it, probably not all of it, but just more of the recent stuff I bought. But let's not talk about the scary stuff, you guys. We're flirting with death. We're flirting with the wild side a little bit. I think everything's going to be fine. Negatively received information. By the time it comes out, people will expect it to be, things will have already been like done. They'll be lower. It'll be a higher low, technically a positive thing, but people will only see the red side that they've been experiencing over the past few days, not just for Bitcoin Cash, but for probably a lot of different things, even stocks. And then once all the noobs, once all the dumb money sells in the negatively received information, whatever the information might be. Again, I'm not saying I don't expect rate cuts. I very much do expect rate cuts to be announced during the FOMC meeting. But maybe it's just there's something else. Maybe the rate cuts are larger than anticipated or than what the public deems is good, right? Maybe there's something else involved, which is what I would think, is that they address something else that might be negatively received in the public eye. But anything can happen. Maybe something unexpected happens. But people will sell. They'll see the red side. They'll hear the negative news. They'll sell. The smart money has already sold. They're the ones that brought the price down ahead of time. They're on the inside. They know what's going on in anticipation of this. They buy up your panic sold stuff, and then we pump, and then we pump. So it's coming. It's coming. We're going to look death in the face and just say, it's coming. It's coming soon, man. But not yet. Not yet. A little bit more patience. Probably sometime next week is when I would think we're going to move up. That's all I got to say, guys. I got nothing else I want to say. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. I very much don't believe that we're going to break this low. I don't believe that we're going to go lower. But it's something to be aware of. So keep that in mind. Looking like we're not going to pump into the event, but rather dump into the event. And then perhaps afterwards, that's when we pump. So we'll see. Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.